Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. How about a nice long sip of freshly brewed news? Story number 1, there's a lot of love in this exam room. Former President Donald Trump said that he had a better physique than former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush during his speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference on Saturday night. The former president noted that Ronnie Jackson, a U.S. congressman from Texas, was also the White House physician during his two predecessors' terms. Jackson, a former Navy Rear Admiral, lavished praise on Trump during his time as director of the White House Medical Unit, claiming that Trump, quote, might live to be 200 years old. To be fair, Jackson didn't indicate whether he was talking about Earth years. In his speech at CPAC, Mr. Trump said of Jackson, quote, he knows every inch of me, and he thinks it's a very beautiful sight. During his administration, Trump nominated Jackson to be the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, but former and current White House medical staff accused him of creating a hostile work environment, excessive drinking on the job, and dispensing medication improperly. Senator John Tester told CNN on April 24 that Jackson was known as the Candy Man at the White House, according to around 20 people who brought these concerns to the Veterans Affairs Senate Committee, because he allegedly handed out Ambien, Provigil, and other prescription drugs, quote, like they were candy. After a damning report by the Office of Inspector General about his behavior, Jackson said that the allegations were false and a, quote, political hit job because he, quote, refused to turn my back on President Trump. Yeah, I'd say not turning your backside toward Trump's direction is sound medical advice, doctor. Story number 2, Mitt Romney wakes up and smells the coffee, even if he's not supposed to drink it. Republican Senator Mitt Romney of Utah on Sunday blasted his fellow GOP members who attended a white nationalist event and those who support Russian President Vladimir Putin as that country invades Ukraine. Representatives Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia and Paul Gosar of Arizona both spoke at the America First Political Action Conference. That event was organized by white nationalist Nick Fuentes. Romney explained, quote, look, there is no place in either political party for this white nationalism or racism. It's simply wrong. It's evil as well. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, I don't know them, but I'm reminded of that old line from the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid movie where one character says, morons, I've got morons on my team.
Morons. I've got morons on my team.
Morons. I've got morons on my team.
I've got morons on my team.
Morons. I've got morons on my team.
Romney wrapped it up, saying, quote, I have to think anybody that would sit down with white nationalists and speak at their conference was certainly missing a few IQ points. March 1st is the 60th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. 305 days remain until the end of the year. Today is also Beer Day in Iceland. Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1692, Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba are brought before local magistrates in Salem Village, Massachusetts, beginning what would become known as the Salem Witch Trials. The Salem Witch Trials were a series of hearings and prosecutions of people accused of witchcraft in colonial Massachusetts between February 1692 and May 1693. More than 200 people were accused. 30 were found guilty, 19 of whom were executed by hanging. One other man, Giles Corey, was pressed to death for refusing to plead, and at least 5 people died in jail. It was the deadliest witch hunt in the history of colonial North America, and the episode is one of colonial America's most notorious cases of mass hysteria. The phrase witch hunt has been used in political rhetoric and popular literature as a vivid cautionary tale about the dangers of isolationism, religious extremism, false accusations, and lapses in due process. On this date in 1790, the first United States Census is authorized. On this date in 1805, Justice Samuel Chase is acquitted at the end of his impeachment trial by the U.S. Senate. In what is truly a sign of different times, Chase was impeached by the House of Representatives on grounds of letting his partisan leanings affect his court decisions. On this day in 1867, Nebraska is admitted as the 37th U.S. state. On this date in 1872, Yellowstone National Park is established as the world's first national park. On this date in 1961, Uganda becomes self-governing and holds its first elections. Celebrating birthdays today are singer-songwriter Harry Belafonte, musician Robert Daltrey, actor Dirk Benedict, actress Catherine Bach, actor-director Ron Howard, first female president of Lithuania, Dalia Grybauskaite, actor Javier Bardem, and the French-American actor perhaps best known for his role as Corporal LeBeau on the TV show Hogan's Heroes, Robert Clary. He turns 96 today. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, Leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by The Independent, CNN, and the website that thinks you do not look fat in those pants, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Neese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.